Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. It's Ipswich versus City today. I mean, we're kind of not in a title race, but I was just wondering, how would it have been if City were involved in the title race or City were the ones chasing Liverpool and kind of a thing? Because Liverpool have been dropping points. It's not like Liverpool have been on a City sort of a run. They have been dropping points. Arsenal have not been able to take advantage of that. I mean, I was just wondering if suppose if it was not Liverpool since it's Arne Slot's first season, but maybe only if Arsenal would have been in the title race, this title race would have still been on. To be honest, but right now it's just too much. What we are 12 points away or something. Let us look at the standings. For example, I think Liverpool is 50 points, and exactly right now we are 35 points. So 15 points. Liverpool will have, of course, have a game in hand, but equal number of games played. We are 15 points away from Liverpool, so the title dream is gone. I think. I mean, of course, without a midfielder, the title dream was anyway gone. But just looking at it with Arsenal, it's interesting. Arsenal have played a game more. So with Arsenal, I mean taking off that game, I think with Arsenal it's interesting. We would have been 42 points. We would have been what 7 points behind Arsenal, for example. Just imagining no Liverpool in the title race. So, I mean, in a way, maybe apart from Liverpool, the others have not been as much there. I mean, because you just look at it, it's the others have not. Yes, City have been bad, but others have not been that good. People are singing praises of Liverpool, which sorry of Newcastle, which they should. But Newcastle are what 38 points. City are 35 points. Newcastle, I mean, if City win this game, they'll be level on points with Newcastle. We are having one of our worst seasons. Chelsea, Newcastle, Forest, Arsenal, leave Arsenal, but generally most of the teams in the Premier League who are having the best seasons and City are on par with them. The top four looks tough. Top four looks very interesting. I think the top four maybe looks even tougher the likes of Arsenal, to be honest, because looking at what happened yesterday, just don't think Arsenal can now forget the title race. They cannot think about themselves being safe for the top four race. And look at where United and Spurs are, to be honest. Spurs are 15th, 24 points. And Everton have a game in hand. Okay, that's against Liverpool, but there's not much difference between Everton in 16th and United in 13th. Wow. Of course, relegation is a big ask because Ipswich is 16 points, but just look at how down United have fallen. And Everton under Moyes, you just do not know they win a couple, and suddenly you see your United and Spurs might be below Everton. It will be interesting to see Liam Delap because Pep Guardiola in his interview with Sky Sports, I think a day back or so, he said that Liam Delap is a killer. Liam Delap is absolutely magnificent. So that is some wonderful counter-attacking football from Ipswich Town. I think it's Omari Hutchinson down the wing. But with Ruben Diaz back, I think we are very much close to our first choice. No, first choice backline. Maybe not Matthews Nunez, but I don't know. I think once we have the centre backs in Kushano, Victor Rees, I think there will not be any need for Nunez to play on the right hand side. You probably might have Victor Rees partnering with Ruben Diaz and Kushano playing on the right, or even Akanji playing on the right. Just a bit on the league table, it's almost that you imagine United, Everton win, United, Ipswich win, and suddenly you're seeing United being dragged into that relegation battle. It's of course possible. It's of course possible in the form United are in, but good to see Ruben Diaz back. Good to see that physicality. I mean, for me, success this season will be. I don't know what success this season will mean to you, but for me, success this season will be finishing second, finishing. I mean, now the title race is almost gone. Maybe finishing just below Liverpool. I always have the philosophy that if any team will win the Premier League, then there should be the only team better than Man City, and the only team, which means we have to finish second. I genuinely think we can overtake Arsenal. Nottingham Forest, you just don't know. But Newcastle, I think we can for me FA Cup success deep in the Champions League and finishing second in the Premier League will be a successful season. What do you guys think about Erling Haaland's new mammoth contract? And by the way, figures have emerged about the contract. It's 9.5 years, which everyone would know. But the baffling thing is, his salary is £1 million net. £1 million net per week. I don't know about the net thing, but £1 million per week. Wow. Just wow. Highest paid player in the world by a mile. Mateo Kovacic. I mean, with Kovacic playing, it's very interesting. You could literally have Ilkay Gundogan press forward, which is his strength. I feel Jeremy Doku has not got much of the ball today, so it will be interesting to see how he does. I think all these people, Jeremy Doku, Savinho, Grealish is much down the pecking order, but literally Doku and Savinho are playing for the place in the team because Omar Marmoush comes, he's a starter. You don't buy someone for 75 million pounds and keep him on the bench. So Foden starts, Haaland starts. In the midfield, it's De Bruyne, Gundogan, Bernardo. Bernardo seems Pepe switching him permanently into the midfield. So where does Mamouche starts? I think it's Doku, Savio, Mamouche. Ikai Gundogan driving forward with the ball. Jeremy Doku. Doku does well. He tracks two players. And then we should not forget even Oscar Bob as well, who's coming back. Kevin De Bruyne, Yasko Guardiol. I hope he doesn't shoot from there. Yasko Guardiol does extremely well, nipping the ball away from Omari Hutchinson. I mean, once Oscar Bob returns, I just think you could be seeing a completely different front three. It could very well be De Bruyne, Foden, Kovacic, and Mamouche, Haaland, Oscar Bob starting. Could be. I mean, the front six could be unrecognizable at the end of the season because the Athletic, David Ornstein's reporting that City might be interested in Douglas Lewis. City are considering their options. So suddenly the starting midfield could be Douglas Lewis, Kovacic, and Foden. Or if Lewis comes in, I think we should remember that Luis was the top three, top four CDMs when he left the Premier League for Juventus. That is wonderful there. Liam Delap gets the ball. Liam Delap gets the ball. Ruben Diaz. He spun Ruben Diaz, but that is a wonderful block. City have defended well there. But look at how Liam Delap spun Ruben Diaz. It's Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland with the ball. Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne has missed his pass over there. Gautam is here. Gautam says, hey there, citizens. Hey Gautam, how are you doing? Gautam, Haaland deal. We never expected that, right? 9.5 years. I mean, the salary is £1 million. I mean, it's all huge records. Gautam says, Bob not in the squad, but why is he practicing with the team? I mean, Pep's told that he's just doing light practice and he needs a little bit more time to get back. They say that he's not yet done a full practice session or something like that. Pep told. So I think week or two Oscar Bob will be there. But just imagine this: Gautam just 115 months, and the salary for each month is £4 million. Gautam, make 115 into four, close to $450 million. Wow. But for me, Kushano was very interesting. When he was given the number 45. I'm poor with numbers, to be honest, in terms of jersey numbers. So he is given the number 45, Kushano. I don't know what that means, but his photo was just very interesting. Kushano's photo. He was just looking, like a badass, badass mafia person, something like that. He just wanted to get onto the field with the action. That's how Kushner was looking in his photo. Some are telling that this is Tixiki Bagaristan's parting gift to Tixiki Bagaristan's parting gift to the football club, signing up Erling Haaland for 115. 115 months. Sorry, signing Erling Haaland up for 9.5 years. But what do you think of Douglas Luiz, Gotham? In terms of City targeting him as a midfield target. Do we take him on a loan or do we just buy him? That's the big question because Juve does not want to loan; they want to sell, but City wants a loan. So Douglas Lewis is actually very interesting. I would take Douglas Lewis in a heartbeat, to be honest. Gautam says they did this 10-year contract so they can distribute his money in a specific way to maintain the balance sheet. Smart as always. And also there's been talked that there is no release clauses. There are no release clauses. Until 2029, which means at that time Erling Haaland will be around 28, and that too in 2029 the release clause is apparently very very high. Gotham Steel and City are interested in only loan without obligation to buy. That is interesting because Pep wanted Douglas Luiz to stay. He did not get a work permit and hence he moved to Aston Villa, and where he was like he developed into top three DMs in world football, and then he's gone to Juventus, and now there's a chance for him to come back to City. But I wonder why they're just telling a loan fee thing because he's around 26 and stuff. It's not that he's overly aged, or maybe or maybe they have someone in mind for the summer. I think no, the fullback thing as well. Andre Cambia. So David Ornstein said it's touch and go. It just depends on Juventus demand. Juventus want around 60 million pounds. City want around 50 million pounds. I think. I guess the deal will also depend on what happens against PSG in this midweek. To be honest, if we even draw against PSG, then there's a huge chance we get through to the next round playoffs and stuff. I think then they will buy Andre Cambiaso because you cannot go with this squad deeper into the Champions League. That is wonderful from Kovacic. Ikai Gundogan, there's a ball to be played. Gundogan just ignored it. Gautam says Cambiaso is more of a summer deal. I don't fancy us in UCL, but it could be very interesting, Gautam, because suddenly you have Vitteris and Kusanov, right? So Pep could play that back four: Guardiol, Diaz, Akanji, and Kusanov, or maybe Vitteris in place of Akanji, but Guardiol or Ake in place of Akanji, whoever. So Guardiol, Ruben Diaz, Ake or Akanji, and Kusanov. So suddenly it's a solid back four, and then the front three is one of the best in Europe. You suddenly have Marmoush, Erling Haaland, maybe, and also Phil Foden. So I think if you can add a DM to this lineup, maybe a Douglas Luiz or someone, I think we will be one of the favorites still in the Champions League. I think because the squad is just that good, and also Marmoush and Haaland both can strike goals. Now the centre backs can't man mark Erling Haaland because Marmoush is there, and then Foden will have more space now with Marmoush is also being there. So the dynamic will be Erling Haaland is through, Erling Haaland is through on goal. Ah, Gautam says we can't use the new signings in January. But Gautam, you can't use it for the group stage. Once we get out of the group stage, you can use them in the Champions League. Like you have to submit a squad for the group stage, and then you can submit a new squad for the knockouts, round of 16 and stuff. So we cannot use them against PSG and Club Brugge. After that, even for the playoff, we can use the new squad. Erling Haaland went through on goal there, and he just did not score. I think Erling Haaland just stuck it too close to the goalkeeper over there. That is wonderful there. Kovacic blasts it over. That is vintage football from City. What a wonderful piece of football from City that was. Phil Foden takes it. The press was good. Ikai Gundogan to De Bruyne to Haaland, Haaland to Kovacic blasts it over. That is the kind of goal which you see Rodri just slotted into the bottom corner. Gautam says these are the chances that has costed us this season. Exactly, Gautam. The league, Liverpool and Arsenal have dropped enough points, Gautam. When Liverpool, okay, Arsenal, you leave it. If it was Arsenal against whom we are competing for the title, Arsenal was first now, then I think we were in the title race. Then I think everybody, when Newcastle has a chance in the title race, to be honest. But even against Liverpool, yes, these are the chances. What Liverpool are around 15 points ahead of us. United 3 points. I think we've discussed it in this stream, but still, United 3 points. Palace 3 points. Everton, we got so many chances in that first half, we couldn't finish it, and it was a draw. So Everton, we could have got 3 points. I mean 2 points extra. Palace, we could have got 2 points extra. Phil Foden. United, we could have got 3 points extra, which is 7 points against Brentford. Okay, against Brentford, we maybe deserve to lose. That's another thing. Against Spurs, we could have been 3-0. We should have been 3-0 up before Spurs scored their first goal. So literally, I just counted 3 or 4 matches where you literally would have dropped 10 silly points. Now add those 10 points, and suddenly you're just 4 points of Liverpool. That is just, I'm not counting the game in hand for them. So I think 4 points of Liverpool in January is nothing. It's just a cakewalk. Gautam says, why don't we have such an easy title race? And United fans and Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans, all of them say that City always have the easy title races and stuff. When has it been easy? Apart maybe from the Centurion season. Every season we have just gone on that incredible run. I mean, if it was 9 points at least instead of that 15 points, I think there was still a chance. Look at it, we should have been 2-0 up by now. Easy 2-0 up. I mean, not just in the Premier League, Gautam, even in the Champions League. Sporting Lisbon, Feyenoord. We should have by now been in the automatic qualification zone. And what are we doing? It's a corner for City. Kevin De Bruyne, Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic to Phil Foden. Gundogan tried to do something fancy there. Just couldn't. And yesterday, Liverpool would have almost dropped points against Brentford. Gautam says McAtee should start before Gunda. At least Nico, I mean, Pep will give an excuse that I need someone who can do box to box. I mean, I say at least Nico O'Reilly then should start, right? Before Gundogan. Nico O'Reilly deserves to start. I mean, news is that the medical for Omar Marmoush is on Monday, so I think we can expect to see him next weekend. Maybe off the bench, not start. And by the way, we have been linked to Diego Costa of Porto. I got it right. I think he plays for Porto. I think as a replacement for Ederson. Should Ederson leave in the summer? Ipswich are slowly getting into the game. I mean, City's defense looks much more organized now that Diaz is there, and the ball is very good. De Bruyne is just not able to find the cutting edge thing. I don't think so, JSK. I don't think so. Then what did Kyle and then what did Kyle Walker do, JSK? Does Kyle Walker have Pep Guardiola's nudes or what? That Pep has started Kyle Walker in every game, even though he's been shit. Gautam says, I always believe that you need at least 3 to 4 academy players in playing 11, and after that, and after what our academy players have been doing, they deserve a lot of chances. That is true. That is true. With Cole Palmer, I don't know. With Cole Palmer, it's kind of a because when Cole Palmer broke through, that was 2 years back. We literally had the best midfield in the world. Kundo in their prime, Gundogan, KDB, Rodri. The year which Cole Palmer left, he left in the summer of that year, right? He just could not foresee a chance for him in the team. He did not think that that midfield of Gundogan, Rodri, and KDB would maybe decline so fast. I don't know. Palmer didn't see a pathway. That's a good free kick from Ipswich Town. But I think who is having a pathway? I'll tell you, Oscar Bob definitely has a pathway. Rico Lewis, he has a pathway, but then I do not know where. I do not know where he'll play. Nico O'Reilly is an interesting one, but yeah, you're right. There should be at least 3 or 4 players, and the only player I see is Foden's in the team. Uh, Oscar Bob is someone who probably could have a pathway. Again, it's interesting, Gautam, because you want space for James McAtee, but suddenly there's Claudio Echeverri coming in. And there is also news that you're going to go out and buy that KDP replacement, whoever it is. Probably could be a Florian Words, and also, just for example, you get Florian Words, and then you're also having Claudio Echeverri, who's a big talent. So, where is the space for James McAtee? That is the sad part, to be honest. Josko Guardiol, Jeremy Doku, Josko Guardiol, Mateo Kovacic, Ruben Diaz, Jeremy Doku's there to rescue the ball. This is a great passage of play for City. Out wide to Matthews Nunez. Phil Foden gets there. He slips, but he gets there. Omari Hutchinson clears, I think. JSK says, why the F is starting Gundogan? Why the F he started Kyle Walker, JSK? Probably Walker and Gundogan. No, I know why he's starting Gundogan. Gundogan lives in the next flat. They live in the same apartment complex. Pep Guardiola and Gundogan. Gundogan is Pep Guardiola's neighbor. Now you understand why why he starts Gundogan. Gautam says, I rate McAtee more than Claudio Echeverri. Even I rate McAtee, but again, with Claudio Echeverri, you just do not know the kind of uh, a switch to Jeremy Doku. And Phil Foden scores. Kevin De Bruyne with the assist. Phil Foden scores again. Phil Foden is in a hot streak of form. Phil Foden just refuses to get off the scoring books. Wow, what a goal by Phil Foden. The sharpshooters here. Phil Foden occupying the central spaces. Jeremy Doku there. Kevin De Bruyne makes that one. Phil Foden gets on the end of Kevin De Bruyne's. cross. Wow, Kevin De Bruyne is starting to rack up the assists, and Phil Foden is obeying him and racking up the goals. What a finish that is! Very good finish. He's had that sense of goal, like Pep Guardiola has always said. Gautam just Foden scores. Academy, one of our own, always our own. Phil Foden. Wow. I just think that now Erling Haaland's been given that big contract. I actually think the team, the core of the team literally is Haaland, Foden, and probably you could even say Yossi are around the same age profile. Because Diaz will be what 28 this year, I think. Ake is around that age. Akanji probably in 30. Liam Delap again. Wow. Just look at the footwork of Liam Delap. This is just superb. I think Delap will replace Harry Kane in that England team. I think there's no doubt about it. Delap is a far, far better striker than, all of the other strikers that are playing for England right now. Maybe with the exception of Kane, is better than Ole Watkins. I'm sorry. Delap is better than Ole Watkins in terms of his finishing. Erling Haaland gets the ball. Can Erling Haaland switch it? There's a switch on. There's a switch on. There's a switch on to the far side. I think no one's actually seen it, but there was a switch on. I think they've just switched it too late. Now, and Jeremy Doku almost got there, but the bounce just took it away from him. Gautam just Watkins finished Arsenal. I just wanted to ask a little bit about, what Arteta did yesterday. I was like thinking, why did he even do it? We'll just talk about it after this sequence. Fell Foden with the ball. Ruben Diaz. The amount of front passes Ruben Diaz plays is just so much underrated. He always, his first instinct is to pass forward. Jeremy Doku tries to cut in. What a goal that is! What a goal that is! Mateo Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic just plants it into the far corner. What a goal by Mateo Kovacic. I mean, people say that City always buy players who are already complete, but Mateo Kovacic in his 3 seasons at Chelsea literally scored 3 goals. He scored a goal per season, and for City, I think this is already his fifth or sixth goal in all competitions. And Phil Foden again with the assist. Phil Foden is just putting up an absolute monstrous show here. What a show this is by Phil Foden. Now just imagine Gautam. Omar Marmoush is also there. And Phil Foden is playing like that. JSK says, by the way, we are not going for the Juventus left back. JSK, David Ornstein just said like an hour ago that the asking price from Juventus is just to Juventus want around 60, City are willing to give 50. David Ornstein said it is unlikely this month, but then it depends on you know what Pep Guardiola is. But I think the news is Pep is really interested in him, and we will get him in. We will go for him in summer. The reason JSK is good is he's two-footed. His work rate is very good. And he's two-footed, which means that can play him as a left back, right back, CDM. Especially when you're two-footed and you come into the midfield from the right back position or the left back position. It's just so much advantageous. Just gives you such an advantage. JSK says we don't need a left back. We need he's a right back. He's a right back. Jeske is a right back. Andrea Cambia, so he's a right back. He's a right back. He plays for Juventus on the right. But what I'm saying is he's two-footed, so he can play both on the left and the right. He's versatile, so he's played everywhere. He's a right back, JSK. Just maybe check. Just maybe check. He's a right back. He's actually a right back. I'll just check. I'm very sure he's a right back. He's two-footed and he plays. He's two-footed and he plays on the right. Gautam says is Kimmich 2.0. Look at it, Jessica. These are his positions. To be honest, he's played everywhere on the right, right back, uh, right center midfield, right wing back, right winger, and also he can play on the left back as well. But generally, he's played always on the right hand side. He's played on the as a right back for Juventus. He's a current right back for Juventus. Gautam says, and if we get him, it not only solves fullback issues, but he can also play in the midfield. Exactly, he's defensively solid as well. He can play right back, right winger, everything, and suddenly Oscar Bob cuts in and he can occupy the width. Oscar Bob stays wide. He can cut through the midfield. He's two-footed. He's two-footed. He's gimmick 2.0. I think we should pay 60 million pounds for him. I think we'll get more value. He'll solve a lot of issues. He'll actually solve a lot of issues if we can actually get him. Kevin De Bruyne, City on the counter attack here. Mateo Kovacic's great ball into Matthews Nunez. Straight into keeper's hands. JS versus then we need to pay it not to play miser. It's the cascading karma effect for not spending in summer. Exactly, JSK. Exactly. You're getting a player who can fill in literally at least 3 to 4 positions. You have to get him exactly. I mean, penny pinching for 10 million pounds. I know who's negotiating. If we are penny pinching for 10 million pounds, I think it's Tixiki Bagarestan who's negotiating. To be honest, and also JSK, did you see that press conference from Did you see the press conference from Guardiola where he said, I think it was last week or this week, I don't remember. What he said was the club gave him money to spend in the summer, but he thought that with this group of players, he could maybe go once more and he could maybe achieve things. He did not want to, split this group of players. So, I mean, I don't know if Pep is telling that to protect the board or he himself refused. I actually take it on face value and I think there's 50-50 thing. Now, the board might have asked Pep, here are the funds are available. Do you want to do it now or next summer? And even I think Pep would have said, we'll do it next summer. I think there was no urgency on both the parties, and this is the result. Otherwise, this is an easy fifth title, guys. This is an easy fifth title. Gautam says Nunez on right back. Let's talk. He plays for Liverpool. Nunez. I mean, with Nunez, it's interesting because I actually, I mean, I'll get back to the United game first. I think in that United game, Josko Guardiola, wonderful interception. Kevin De Bruyne is through. Kevin De Bruyne is almost through. Guardiola has to play. Guardiola tries to pick out Haaland, but he instead picks out Foden. I don't know. The ball is just going towards Foden. KDB. KDB just could not keep it down. Yeah, so Gautam, I go to that United game for Matthews Nunez, and in that United game, Matthews Nunez for 75 for 80 minutes Nunez was good. I think we were speaking on the stream as well. Nunez has been very good. He's kept Amad Diallo quiet on that side and all of those things, you know. Nunez played left back that day, but I'll tell you, it has an implication. Nunez played left back that day, but the mistakes which he did in that match, I don't think he still recovered there, because after that match, you just see his confidence is a bit low, I think. And also another thing with Nunez is, I think Gautam, you bought him as a central midfielder. He was a very good central midfielder at Wolves. He was a very good central midfielder who played Champions League at Sporting. He played in the Champions League knockouts at Sporting Lisbon. He won titles in Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon. I don't think he's that bad when you can play Champions League knockouts, and he dominated. I mean, it was what 2021 or something. He dominated our midfield of De Bruyne, Rodri, and Gundogan. Pep clearly even told him out. So I refuse to tell that he's that bad. But Pep playing him on the right wing, left wing. Pep wants to make him Joshua Kimmich 4.0. Pep wanted to make Nunez Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne again has a chance. Kevin De Bruyne again. It's a corner for City. Gautam says, what I feel is he's better than Rico for this position. He's had the physical, he has the physicality than Rico Gautam. He has the physicality. He has, I mean, he has faced very good midfields. I mean, it means if he has played for Sporting in the Champions League knockouts, it means that he has faced midfields with far greater physicality. And he was very good at Sporting as well. I mean, at Wolves he dominated midfield of United with Casemiro and stuff. Yes, Casemiro's age is gone, but still, he dominated midfield. So Nunez has the physicality. Nunez at right back, he has the defensive nose as well. I think that United match shattered his confidence. I think that's the only thing. And his defensive sense is much better than Rico Lewis. But what do you think, Adam? What do you think is the best position for Rico Lewis, to be honest? What do you guys think is the best position for Rico Lewis? Because that is a conundrum again. Where do you actually play Rico Lewis? Because the lad has. I mean, if the team's performance in this season has been below average, Rico Lewis' performance has been average. He's certainly produced some right moments for the team, but is definitely not a right back. So where do you play him? That's a big question again with Rico Lewis. What do you do? Has I'm not now the question again arises is has Pep Guardiola molded Rico Lewis into a footballer? Because Rico Lewis is what come under the guidance of Pep Guardiola at 17. Honestly, right? Because otherwise, if he was allowed to develop a bit more, I think he would be at around 21 roughly before he would come into the first team. I think as Pep Guardiola molded Rico Lewis into such a player that he does not fit a particular position. That is unplay that you cannot say is a right back. As Pep Guardiola done that, because if Pep Guardiola has done that suddenly, what happens if Pep goes? Which position does the new manager identify him in? Lot of questions. That is wonderful from Kevin De Bruyne. Jeremy Doku there. Jeremy Doku has to play in Kevin De Bruyne here. Kevin De Bruyne is in. He has to play in Erling Haaland. Phil Foden scores again. Wow. What is Phil Foden doing today? What is Kevin De Bruyne doing today? The contract is signed by the contract is signed by Erling Haaland. But it seems that Phil Foden is the one who is doing all the celebrations. Wow. And Kevin De Bruyne, two assists already. Prime January. I know it's just Ipswich, but just in terms of how we are playing, it somehow seems that Prime January City is back. Just look at the finish of Phil Ford, and that's very good. Kevin De Bruyne raking in the assists. I'll just check how many assists does Kevin De Bruyne have. How many assists does Kevin De Bruyne have? Let us see. Assists in this season. Mohamed Salah is 13. Saka is 10. Is injured. Anthony Robinson is 9, which is interesting. I know De Bruyne has not been there, but let us see. Kevin De Bruyne 4, and I think Kevin De Bruyne is having 6 assists with these two assists added, which will take him into, wow, number 6, which will take him into number 6. Wow, wow, Kevin De Bruyne, just wow. We want Erling Haaland to score as well because for the golden boot thing. Phil Foden again, can he find Erling Haaland? He can't. Just can't find Erling Haaland. Wow, Phil Foden just putting on an all-round show. I think Phil Foden 2 goals and an assist. I mean, if he hits another goal, that will equal Justin Clivert. Yesterday, Justin Clivert hit 3 goals and an assist. I think Phil Foden could be actually doing the same. And if City win this, it will push City into fourth place, and the goal difference is almost equal to Newcastle's, and we are just 6 points of Arsenal. If we win this, JSK's Phil Foden took Palmer's price tag over crossing him personally. but again, JSK, just imagine Omar Marmoush joining these guys. Wow, just wow. And also, there's another very important thing about Omar Marmoush. Omar Marmoush will be like, I mean, Riyad Mahrez was an African. After that, we have Omar Marmoush, who's another African. But that is not the thing. Both Riyad Mahrez and Omar Marmoush wear gloves during winter, the black gloves. If you guys can remember, the Mahrez with gloves was such a scary prospect. Mahrez wearing gloves during the winter. I think that is what Omar Marmoush is gonna do. Misplaced pass by Kovacic. Phil Foden does absolutely well. Phil Foden again does well, but the ball goes out for a City throw in. I mean, we have conceded 29 goals, and it's not like any team has been keeping clean sheets this season. Liverpool themselves have conceded 20 goals already. Arsenal 21. So it's almost not like that we are, yes, we are giving important goals, but it's also not like that we are leaking goals and stuff left, right, and center. What a performance! It's half time, and what a performance from City. I think how many games are remaining? 16 more games after this. Can we go on an unbeaten run? Can we go on an unbeaten run? That is the question. I think since the Everton game, that is 26th of December, we haven't lost a game. Draw against Everton, win against Leicester, win against West Ham, win against Salford. Of course, it's not the Premier League. Draw against Brentford. Now we are winning against Ipswich. So one, two, three, four, five, including this. This is our fifth Premier League game, and we haven't, lost a game. So I think if we can go on that 16 game unbeaten run, we get a DM, we go on the 16 win unbeaten run. It would just be wonderful. JSK's only thing about Marmoush, I'm worried is Guardiola will bench him like Alvarez. I just don't think that will happen, JSK, because you don't buy a player for 75 million pounds and bench him. That's just not gonna happen. And his wages are around 250,000 pounds. So you don't bench a player who you're paying 250,000 pounds. I know it's Guardiola, but still, you don't bench a player who you pay 75 and including bonuses, it could be 80 million pounds. So literally 80 million pounds and you're paying him a wage of around 200 250,000 per week. You don't bench such a player. You don't bench him, I think. That is just not possible. And also with Omar Marmoush, the thing is, our free kick problems also will be solved. He is an expert free kick taker. He scored many goals from free kicks for Frankfurt. He's an expert free kick taker. I think he takes corners as well, but I don't know. But he takes free kicks. His free kicks are just superb. So Omar Marmoush will be an all-round package, I think, and I think he'll play off the left. Phil Foden on the right and Marmoush on off the left. भाई जिस attackers have done their job. Now अब तुम्हारे वाले वतन defender साथियों and Bayaji, this time Major General Ruben Diaz is back. Ruben Diaz is there to, hi sir, Ruben Diaz is there to hold the fort. Ruben Diaz is there to reset the defense. Ruben Diaz is there to make sure none of them lose their heads. Or next match, say, I think you can see Kushano, Kushano is Kyle Walker fast. If you guys don't know, Kushano is Kyle Walker fast. 30 is clocked 37 kilometers per hour, which is said to be the speed of Olympians like Usain Bolt over 100-meter stretch. Kushano is rapid. He's like Ferrari on a tank. He is rapid and is built like a tank. He's as rapid as Kyle Walker and is more physical than Ruben Diaz. That's what they say. Wow. So I think Kusha now comes in at right back, and suddenly the defense will be Guardiola, Kusha now, Diaz, maybe Akanji. JSK says, by the way, thoughts about Haaland historic extension. It came out of nowhere. JSK, it was a parting gift. It was a parting gift from Tixiki Pagarestan to the club. Since it could be the last deal that he could do. I mean, the can be as one could happen, could not happen, you don't know. But they say that it's a parting gift from Tixiki Pagarestan to the club. And also I think like Gautam mentioned before, it allows you to spread the wages and stuff and spread the money around 10 years, which will allow you for amortization and all of those things. But also, I mean, the main thing is it will protect the clubs. From the club's point of view, it will protect the club's interests a lot. I mean, there will be no scenario where an Mbappe kind of a thing happens, where a Real Madrid might pressurize a player. If Haaland has only signed 3 years extension, for example, Madrid, when Haaland enters the third year, Madrid might pressurize him. Leave for free. We will give you 100 million pounds in bonus. Could happen. So City have literally tied down the best years of Erling Haaland. And for Erling Haaland, what it means is he has trust on the club. For Erling Haaland, it means stability. For Erling Haaland, it means that he could break Alan Shearer's record. By this is what happened to Grealish in midfield project. Bayaji, Jack Grealish was just internship. He was doing an internship in that project. That's all. They have not offered the intern full time position. That's why Grealish is for now. The project has ended. And also, news is the boss does not have any interest in that project. Grealish in midfield project. So the boss has decided to shut the project down and send Grealish back to where he's comfortable. The pub down the street in Manchester, that is where Jack Grealish is more comfortable. Gotham City signing players from Bundesliga has always been magical. Exactly. Kundo, Haaland, Sane, all had an impact. Let's see what happens with the next player. You have missed some players, Gotham. Gundo, Haaland, Sane, Vincent Kompany, Kevin De Bruyne. Am I forgetting someone? Manuel Akanji has been good as well. Manuel Akanji. Now Omar Marmoush. I mean, before Omar Marmoush, we have signed six players, and maybe apart from Akanji, five of them have become city superstars. Five of them have become legends of the club. The five of them could ease. I mean, not Leroy Sané, but the others: Kompany, Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan. These three have these three have literally become legends of the club. There'll be a statue for them once they retire outside the club. It's always been magical. And and yet you know what some Chelsea fans are telling? Erling Haaland as well. I forgot to include that as well. So apart from Marmoush, you have signed seven players, and four of them are legends of the club already. And what Chelsea fans are telling is signing from the Bundesliga has not been good for us. What United fans have been telling is signing from the Bundesliga has not been good for them. Most Premier League goals in 2025. Ahmad Diallo 4, Phil Foden 5, Justin Kluivert 4, and some United fans were telling Ahmad Diallo is better than Phil Foden. Baiji says, yes, give me any player from Bundesliga. Always a work for us. Baiji says, at this rate, Tixiki will have a statue outside Etihad. He will have the biggest of the lot statue. I actually think Bayaji, it is not a bad idea. I think once TCK Bagaristan is leaving now. Once Ferran Soriano and Pep Guardiola and Khaldun are done with their time at the club, which I hope is not in the near future. You, I mean, just like the Holy Trinity, you could have the four of them as statues outside the club. One of the best management structures that has ever been seen in not just this kind, not just UK but world football, not just in the Premier League. That Trinity could just be that those four people. I don't know what they call four people. Those four people would just be superb. Tixiki, Ferran Soriano, Khaldun, and Pep Guardiola. Wow, how have these four people, made City into the superpower it is? And we are talking about this in a time where it's very important to note the context. We are talking about this in a time where Manchester United, Ruben Amorim is screaming for players, and Ineos just doesn't seem to care. Ineos says we have failed FFP. We need to sell Kobe Mainu. We need to sell I need to sell my trousers, you need to sell your coat to fund the players, whatever. We have Arsenal where you know that if Arsenal were given a proper striker, I think Arsenal and Liverpool would be 2 3 points difference, that's all. Arsenal are screaming for a striker, and yet it's almost the end of the January transfer window in 10 days time, and still not even a single bid made for a striker literally. We are seeing this at a time when owners of other fellow top clubs are refusing to spend money, and City are going bang 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 bang. He has 200 million pounds and there's another 100 million pounds for you. Go. You want another 100 million pounds? It is there as well. This is just superb from City. The management structure. I mean, it's so underrated. People will talk about Haaland, Ford, and Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, Rodri. That's how it should be. But let us not ignore the background of what these people have done. Because I tell you, for example, you put that entire Arsenal team which competed against us for the title, and you put our owners in place of their owners. I mean, not the owners, but our this thing, our hierarchy in Dixie, Pep, Ferran Soriano, and Khaldun. To them, and Arsenal would have won the title. They would have given Arsenal the striker they wanted. Arsenal would have won the title. They would have given them an upgrade on Martinelli and stuff. It's just magical, the management that we have, the management structure. Gautam says the title of Tixiki statue will be at the end, what we do is always win. Superb, superb. At the end, what we do is always win. That would be such a fantastic title to have. What a title that is. What a title that is. Gautam says, I think we don't spend money in FOMO. We always have a method of buying and selling. Gautam, I always come back to this statement. I think it was 2011, I think that was the season. 2010-11, the season before we won the title with Mancini. I think it was 2010-11, and City didn't qualify that season for the top four. We finished outside the top four spots. We finished fifth, I think we finished fifth. And Gary Cook was the CEO at that time before Ferran Soriano has come in, and Gary Cook mentions in an interview speaking with Khaldun Al Mubarak, and Khaldun tells to Gary Cook, it's okay we finished fifth, but we know where we are going. It's okay. It happens in sport. It's okay. So I mean what this conversation tells you is the confidence in the process of the hierarchy. I mean, City that window when we finished fifth, City literally spent I think 100, 150 million pounds, 200 million pounds. I think that was when we have just been bought 2 years after that. The owner could have done a lot of things, like Chelsea's owner bought left and right, but no, reassuring words. We always, yes, you have failed with Calvin Phillips transfer. Failures are there, but the successes far outnumber the failures. So that reassuring tone of the hierarchy is just superb. And we have a method of buying and selling, like you said, Gautam, and that method of buying and selling is the reason why we have Rodri and we do not have Fred. That method of buying and selling is the reason why we have Ruben Diaz and not Harry Maguire, because City's first choice was Fred. United outbid and one paid him crazy money. We moved on. Sorry, City's first choice was Jorginho. Chelsea, I think Mauricio Sarri, Chelsea and all. He went there. Then Fred, United offered him ridiculous wages. Then we settled on Rodri. Same with we went for Van Dijk. Sorry, we went for Harry Maguire, and then United overpaid for him 80 million pounds. We could have bid 85 million pounds, but the best thing is we see this is the price we value the player at, and that's all. The player wants to come, he'll convince the club. That's all. And he'll leave. That's all. And the result was Ruben Diaz. Bayaji says if we are serious about Louis' loan, then we should have done it on the 1st January itself. Bayaji, I just think that the first priority was on defensive reinforcements. I think because because at that time, I think in the first week of January and stuff, I mean, lot of Ruben Diaz was injured, John Stones was injured, Kyle Walker, everyone knew the contract was up. Nathan Ake was hinging here and there. Manuel Akanji was also just suffering from a knock at that time. I think I didn't know. So suddenly in that first week of January, there were literally no centre backs for you to play. Pep told that I think in one of the match Akanji was playing with a knock. I think it was against Everton or West Ham. I don't remember. So so I just think they made it a priority to go and get the centre backs. And then they have seen that there is no creativity, there's no juice in the attack. It's the same old your Bernardo Silvas, your Gundogans passing left, right, and center. Savinho not doing much. And to revive the team, they got Omar Marmoush. And also, I think with Omar Marmoush, Tixiki was negotiating Omar Marmoush and the other deals were being done by Hugo Viana. But I think with Omar Marmoush, it was important to move fast because just imagine if you would have started the bidding for Omar Marmoush now, the starting price would have been £100 million. Just look at how many goals since the talks have started with him. I think he's netted 6 goals in 6 matches. Something like it was ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So I actually think the board felt the competition for a CDM that we want in January is far less. I think they would have maybe surveyed the names. Douglas Lewis, Juventus are willing to offload this. There will be no takers. Uh, and also I think the board in the first week of January, Bayaji, I think the board tried for Edison of Atlanta. It just proved impossible, and that's why they decided to move on and get back later. I think Edison of Atlanta was always our first choice. I think even in the summer they want to go for Edison of Atlanta. That's why they're asking for a loan for Douglas Lewis. Gautam says UA wants the obligation to buy, which we can't commit. Exactly, Gautam. I think Edison of Atlanta is the first choice, and they want to do him in the summer. Buy this is, but a natural DM is a must and doesn't look like we are after anyone for buying purpose. Without CL next season, forget Bruno deal too. I think Bayaji, we will sign someone. I think we will sign someone in the midfield. We will sign someone in the midfield. I think Bayaji. It's We will sign someone in the midfield for sure. I think. Otherwise, I think there is a suggestion. There is a suggestion. The suggestion is Victor Rees. The suggestion is Victor Rees can play in the midfield. Victor Rees is an equivalent of John Stones. Victor Rees is inexperienced but is very comfortable on the ball. And so another suggestion is the Pep maybe thinks Victor Rees can play in the midfield. So so I think that could be a thing. That could be a thing, I think, because there will be a body coming in the midfield, but will it be Victor Rees or will it be they actually go for a midfielder? I don't know. JSK says no need. Douglas Lewis can't stand his girlfriend at all. Gautam says City will go for Edison in the summer. Douglas Lewis can't stand. I think JSK is batting on the front foot today. First he mentions Pep's daughter and now this. Wow, JSK, wow. Bayaji says Bruno was kissing the badge after scoring yesterday. Bruno Gimenez, again, it's an interesting one, Bayaji, because Newcastle have to sell to satisfy the PSR FFP requirements. They have to sell one of Bruno Gimenez or Isaac. Isaac is not for sale, so it will be Bruno Gimenez. So it will be Bruno Gimenez. But again, for me, I think what Bruno Gimenez will be around 28. I think Bruno Gimenez and Rodri are of a similar age profile. I think 1 year. Gimenez will be 27 and Rodri will be 28. Again, it depends. Like, I think we are actually looking for we are looking for a player who can play box to box and he can also be a DM. I think in Rodri's absence, I think that is and I think that is one of the suggestions. And Bruno Gimenez suits that perfectly. He's absolutely very creative. What a save that is from Edison. Wonderful save that is from Edison. Again, Kovacic weak defensively. Josko Guardiol just cannot do anything because he was covering the man and he was caught in a 2-on-1 position. Kovacic's mistake there again. JSK says Laka does it with every club, not something unusual, but Laka Laka Lukaku. What a goal that is from Jeremy Doku. This guy is special. This guy is special, guys. This guy is absolutely special. Wow. What a goal from Jeremy Doku. This guy is absolutely special. What a goal that is from Jeremy Doku. Wow. Who gave the assist? I did not see, but what a goal that is. The Ipswich Town fullback is like, exactly, Gautam, that was like Vinicius Jr. The Ipswich Town fullback is like, wow, what just happened to me? Look at four players, 3 to 4 players surrounding him. Wow, wow, look at the dribble, look at the finish. What was there a deflection? I don't know, and I don't care as well. Yes, there was a deflection, but it was still going in. It was still going into the far corner. Even if there was a deflection, it was still going into the far corner. That was like when this guy is absolutely talented. But for me, one thing is, one day he plays like Vinicius Junior, and then the next day he plays like Jack Grealish. Two extremes, two absolute extremes. Just can't understand it. Two bloody absolute extremes. And who got the assist? Who got the assist? Can anybody tell who got the assist? Was it De Bruyne with the assist? Who got the assist? Let me know, guys, who got the assist. Again, City on the attack. Jeremy Doku to Kevin De Bruyne. But what a goal that is, right? Gautam says he has multiple personalities in him, but one personality he does not have in him, thank God, Gautam, is Raheem Sterling. I just hope he never gets that personality in him because finishing is what is really important. And but what a finish that was from Jeremy Doku! Wow, bamboozled. All of the Ipswich Town's players were absolutely bamboozled. Jeremy Doku, Kovacic. This is what happens. You look at it. Ikai Gundogan. You look at the positioning of Ikai Gundogan. Ikai Gundogan is almost playing as a number 10 along with Phil Ford, and De Bruyne is occupying that wide position. So suddenly Gundogan is not tasked with running back DM duties, and suddenly you see a different version of Gundogan. Gundogan has been on fire today, distributing the ball everywhere and superb. I just think we get a proper DM. Look at Gundogan there. The ball's just over Erling Haaland, but Jeremy Doku can get there, and Jeremy Doku does exceptionally well there with the push. Ikai Gundogan, Manuel Akanji, De Bruyne. This is relentless from City. भैया जी से क्या 3 पॉइंट्स लॉक किया जाए आज? भैया जी आप लाइफलाइन इस्तेमाल नहीं करना चाहते, हमारे पास है फोन पेप गुआर्डियोला, for audience poll with Ruben Diaz. आप क्या लाइफलाइन चुनना चाहते हैं अभी? That is the question. I think if you even draw this match from here, well, that will just drive Pep Guardiola insane. By the way, regarding the CDM thing, there's another thing. There have been suggestions of Suamini to City. It means it seems that Pep Guardiola and I mean they're saying that a few articles have come and they're saying that that is one of the reasons why City did not go hard for Zubimendi because they wanted Suamini. Pep wants Suamini in the summer. Of course, Suamini will not come now. So in the summer. So what do you guys think about Suamini? Gautam says bring in Grealish and let him play with Erling Haaland. Gautam, it's just the third period, and you already, and it's not lunch break, and you already want games period. Jack Grealish is like a student who only attends the games period in school, which generally is the last period. So it's just 50 minutes. I mean, just imagine how Jack Grealish would be feeling now. With Omar Marmoush coming in, Oscar Bob in there, it's just something else. By the way, let me actually check who was the who got the assist. Wow, Kevin De Bruyne with another assist. Kevin De Bruyne with a hat trick of assists today. Wow, wow, wow! Just absolutely wow. I mean, if Liverpool can, for example, if Liverpool can lose two more games and we win our next two, you just never know. I know, still you cannot dream about the title, but still, 9 points in mid-January. It can be done, guys. It can be done, but again, no false hopes of the title. We have not even signed a DM, so let's not go there. Suamini would be a really interesting option, but then again, with Suamini, can Suamini play box to box? I don't know. Jeremy Doku next the ball. Jeremy Doku next the ball. Erling Haaland scores! What a goal that is! Jeremy Doku with an assist and Erling Haaland with a goal. Wow, wow, wow! Five-star performance from Manchester City. Erling Haaland scores. Via this is contract celebration. Wow, wow! I mean, what anticipation from Jeremy Doku and I think Jeremy Doku of last year would have gone himself. But Erling Haaland just look at it. He passed it to Erling Haaland. Jeremy Doku could have easily gone by himself, and what a finish by. I mean, it's one of the easiest finishes, but still, Erling Haaland again. Jeremy Doku is on fire as well. Jeremy Doku is on absolute fire. Wow. What a goal. Erling Haaland contract celebration. Wow, like Bayaji said. Bayaji, आप ब्लॉक किया जाए 3 points. But Ipswich away, Ipswich have not been generally an easy opponent. I think Erling Haaland is through again, Erling Haaland is through again, Erling Haaland is through again. Ah, it's a corner for City. I thought Haaland would get his second. Just imagine Haaland, and it is just 58 minutes, 0-5. Guys, I think it will go the Salford way, 0-8. I think it could easily go that way, 0-8. I have Haaland in my fantasy team, so I think if we can get one more, if Haaland can get a hat trick today, I had Clivert in my fantasy team, and yesterday he gave me 22 points. So if I can get Haaland, hat trick, that would just be nothing like it. That is great goalkeeping from the Ipswich Town goalkeeper, and it's another corner for City. It suddenly feels that Pep Guardiola has made a change to the style of play. There's no boring sideways passing. I mean, you could argue it's just Ipswich, but then at the start of the season when we were winning game after game, it was just Southampton, and still we were very boring. Gotham says Haaland scored hat trick in August against Ipswich. Another hat trick now. It could be a record. It could be some kind of a record, but you know, against Southampton, for example, early on in the season, we were boring. I think against teams like Wolves, even Everton also, we were boring. Everton were not doing that well on 26th of December when we played them. But suddenly look at it, more of forward passing. What are the reasons, guys? What do you think? What are the reasons? More of forward passing. What are the reasons? Kovacic, De Bruyne, Josko Guardiol. Ah, pass was intended for Foden, but he was not there. Ah. I think now at least Pep should bring on James McAtee and Nico O'Reilly. It was offside anyway. Bayaji says Guardiola playing garbage. I actually think Bayaji Phil Foden just. I think Guardiola anticipated the position a bit wrong because I think in those situations, Ipswich player was pressing Guardiola, so you kind of feel that your mate is there. But Foden was not there. Foden was just a bit ahead. But I think once Guardiola is slowly getting his confidence back, I think once he gets fully confident, wow, what a player he will be, what a defender he will be. Clean sheet is very important today. Clean sheet is extremely important today. JSK says Brentford was boring too. Exactly, Brentford was boring too. Exactly, Brentford was garbage level boring. Brentford was snoring level boring. If you like show the Brentford match to an insomnia patient, he will be asleep before even half time. It was that boring. But what? But why do you think? What's the change? Wow, James McAtee is coming. Jack Grealish is coming. Mbuma is coming. Devin Mbuma. Phil Foden's out. I think is he had to do it because the PSG game is there on Wednesday, Thursday morning. That is in Indian time. Foden's out. Foden's out, Haaland's out, De Bruyne's out. He's removed his famed three. Gautam says Pep listens as he watches the stream. This is not a coincidence, Gautam. Every time we have discussed where is McAtee, or where is Grealish, is bringing in, is bringing them in. That is why he speaks to Yuan Malilo. I think it's Yuan Malilo who has an earpiece, who listens to our stream. Ipswich are also making the substitutions. Bayaji says, I want to see Nico in DM role. I mean, we all want to see Nico in DM role, Bayaji, but I think he could have easily at this time removed Kovacic and bought on Nico. 5-0. What else do you want? What else do you want? 5-0. He could have easily bought on Nico O'Reilly. Such a talent, Nico Riley. I actually think two things have happened today why we have played wonderful football. First thing is Ruben Diaz. You see Ake and Akanji, their passing is always sideways or they play the safe pass. But then Ruben Diaz, his first instinct is to look for that connection. Kovacic, Kundogan dropping deep. His first instinct is to progress the ball into the midfield. And now Gundogan is not holding today. I know Kovacic held against Brentford as well, but Gundogan was given more license than the Brentford game to actually go forward today. So I actually think that those two things release City, especially Ikai Gundogan, occupying those central attacking roles, cam roles, that just release City a lot. And also I think it's just a thought again, but I think with Ruben Diaz in there, the our midfielders feel a lot more safer than with your Ake and Akanji in there. I think Ruben Diaz in there offers that leadership material, that safety, that assurance and stuff. So it's interesting, I think. Our goal difference is now better than Newcastle's goal difference. Josko Guardiola, Ruben Diaz almost with a not Ruben Diaz, Josko Guardiola almost with a mistake there again. Divi Mbuma dropping back, and then look at him running through, and then Jagril is coming in, Kovacic. Now it's games period. That's why Jagril is in there very quickly. Manuel Akanji. Ah, the way City have played today, everyone's forgotten about Matthews Nunez. I mean, no attacks by Ipswich at all in the second half. We completely nullified it. And it's just 66 minutes gone. I think if there was no midweek match, this could have been 8 9 nil. Haaland, De Bruyne, and Foden would have had a field day, to be honest. That is a good set piece. The set pieces have generally improved. Even in the last match, the set pieces were better than before, I would say. Great control by Jack Grealish, Kovacic, Kovacic, Josko Guardiola, Kovacic again. It's backward passing. Gautam says great corner by McAtee. Exactly, James. McAtee, I mean, he has a spot in that midfield. I think it's how Pep Guardiola finds it. My only worry is if we get Florian Wirtz in the summer, what is going to happen to him? That is my only worry. But I think James McAtee has the level of talent as Florian Wirtz. The only difference is one has been given opportunities and the other has. Oh, what a goal! Wow! Wow! What a goal that is! Wow! What a goal! What movement that is! What movement that is, Gautam! What movement that is! The movement of the player is fantastic. The movement of the player, the movement of the player reminds me of Samir Nasri. Samir Nasri at his prime for City moved like that in attacking spaces. Samir Nasri was brilliant, and James McAtee's movement is the same. Look at it. Look at the movement of James McAtee. Look at how James McAtee goes with the run. He is definitely on side, and look at the composure on the finish. Wow, wow, wow. Absolutely wow. Kovacic bagging a goal and an assist. Wow, the composure is just superb. That is not an offside by 100 kilometers. His run is just superb. Gautam says you just can't let this man leave. You can't let him leave, man. This will be a crime by City. Crime is a very understated word. Crime is a very understated word, Gautam. It will be more than a crime. It will be the biggest. I don't know the biggest. The biggest blunder. I'm just struggling for words, but it could just be a I mean, this man does not leave. Just he is not leaving. Come on, man, James McGutt. Yeah, how many players can run like that and finish like that in the Premier League? Just tell me. They will be in words. They'll be in fingertips. Experienced players can't make that run. That run is just top notch. That run is just top notch. This guy moves like David Silva in the midfield, in spaces, and he attacks the box. His final attacking movement is like Samir Nasri. I'm telling the name Samir Nasri because he so much reminds me of Samir Nasri in the way he went into the box. Nasri was so good at that. Gautam says his first goal in PL. Yes, yes, Gautam, his first goal in PL. Bayaji says, yes, McAtee is a natural, growing into confidence with each game. The talent Bayaji, it's his first goal in PL. Yes, I think, yes, yes. Let us just check a quick check. James McAtee, let's check his goals. Uh, James McAtee, I think it's actually his third goal in the Premier League, Gautam. It's the third goal of James McAtee in the Premier League. It's his third goal. It's his third goal in the Premier League. Yes, he has three goals and three assists in the Premier League. And and the interesting thing is James McAtee has one goal in UEFA Champions League as well. So in total he has four goals for City. Three in the Premier League, one in the Champions League, and four assists as well. Wow, wow, and just wow. Bayaji says yes. McAtee, fourth goal, Gautam, fourth goal. Sorry, third goal in the Premier League. Fourth goal in the Premier League, I'm sorry. With this goal, and he has had one more in the Champions League. So five goals and three assists. Bayaji says yes. McAtee is a natural, growing into confidence with every game. These are all of the same group. I think Cole Palmer, James McAtee, Phil Foden, Oscar Bob. Yes, Foden came into the first team, but they were of the same group, progressing through the age groups into City's EDS Development Squad. James McAtee, Phil Foden, Callum Doyle, Cole Palmer, Oscar Bob, Morgan Rogers. And James McAtee was their captain as well. I think James McAtee is just a natural and is just wow. Not toxic says, bro, what do you think? Why every time Barcelona lose or tie their game, everyone starts to blame Real Madrid and and Papa Perez. It's I mean the Barcelona of old was not like this. It's just that when you know you can't further step up your game, that's when you look for excuses outside the game, refereeing decision, this and that. Then play like the referee does not have a chance to make you lose the game, right? Why do you always want to point out the refereeing decisions? They will not point out how shit their central midfield was. For example, yesterday I think was it against Alaves? I don't know. Getafe. I mean I don't remember the team, but yeah, it's just that Barcelona, they're in a financial crisis, and the only thing they can do is injury crisis they have, and the only thing they can do is blame Papa Perez. That's all, which is not gonna help them because I think they could be in fourth place. If I'm not wrong, they're tied on points with Athletic Club. Gautam says, can he play the Gundo role if not KDP? He cannot play. He cannot play the Gundo role. Maybe he can. Maybe he can. Maybe he can. Once Rodri is back, he can. He can play the Gundo role, to be honest. He can. He's tenacious in the tackle. He can. His runs are super. But for me, the best role for James McAtee is, when KDB and David Silva came, what Pep Guardiola did was he had Fernandinho holding by himself, and then he had both KDB and Silva. Now I think he could easily have Phil Foden and James McAtee occupying, those two spots, at those two attacking midfield spots. Jeremy Doku is on a roll. Nico O'Reilly with the shot. Gautam says Nico coming on. Nico Aguirre. He listens to us, Gautam. He bloody listens to us, Pep. Bayaji says it was McAtee dribbling when Gary Neville commented that City cloning their academy talents. And that's such a great thing to use, but I think McAtee is a natural more than anything else, I think, but I see that shades of David Silva and Samir Nasri in him, which I thought could never be possible because I always saw David Silva, and I thought if David Silva had goals in him, he could win the Ballon, maybe go at least in the top five of the Ballon d'Or. He was that good, and with Samir Nasri, it was always like that movement in the midfield. His final movement was good, but his movement in the midfield was, I don't know. McAtee has both. McAtee has both. Not toxic says very well answered. Thank you, not toxic. By the way, which team fan are you? Bagaji says, I don't get Barca. They destroyed Madrid twice this season and struggles against Getafe. Ipswich on the attack. Clean sheet is important. If a clean sheet does not happen, thus be Marlo Pep Guardiola will not at all be happy. I actually think about that. You have in Madrid's team, you have Mbappe, you have Vinicius Junior, you have Bellingham. Too many egos, too many egos in that Madrid dressing room, and when they're playing against Barca, big occasion, those egos go through the roof. Those egos absolutely go through the roof. And so what is happening is Madrid against Barca. See, Barcelona are shit right now. They're not that good. Barcelona. They might be good in the group in the Champions League and all, but Barcelona are not that good in general. They are struggling right now. Barcelona are playing as a team, whereas Real Madrid are playing with egos. Which means I actually think this Ipswich Town team could actually at least draw with Real Madrid. That's how poor Madrid can be. They're not playing as a team. And when Barca is playing against Getafe, I I just think that kind of teamwork is just not there when they're playing against Real Madrid. I think that kind of, when there's an occasion, you lift up your game. When City comes to play against smaller teams, they lift up their game, and they score victories against us. I think Barcelona is not lifting up the game. That's the only thing. City could go on a counter attack here. Gautam says, I don't want words. If that means you are selling McAtee, we should reward him for loyalty. No words, no words, Gautam, no words, no words. I've been thinking over it. I think it was either Omar Marmoush or words. I was thinking it was either Omar Marmoush or words, because I cannot see us spending 80 million on Omar Marmoush, and then again going out and spending 100 million on words, when especially you have a when especially you could spend that words money on a DM. You could have spent that 100 million on a DM, or you could have spent that money on a right back or a midfielder, box to box midfielder, or whoever it is. And also with Florian Wirtz, I think the two positions, Florian Wirtz is a right footer. Till now I was thinking he's a left footer, but Florian Wirtz is a right footer. He plays attacking midfield and he plays the right side. Now the right side is, you have Oscar Bob, you have Phil Foden on the right side. And probably you would think, since Pep is using left footers on the right, with Foden and Oscar Bob both being left footers, you can imagine that maybe Savinho will also play on the right generally. Right? So no space for Florian Wirtz there. Omar Marmoush can play left, Omar Marmoush can play off Erling Haaland, which means it could almost be that attacking midfield role. Maybe. So there's no space for Florian Wirtz again. And then you're also getting Claudio Echeverri. You have our very own James McAtee. James McAtee with the ball. James McAtee carrying the ball. James Maca just don't make bad passes. Mecca just don't make those bad passes. Nico O'Reilly, that is wonderful ball winning skill by Nico O'Reilly. Jeremy Doku does well. Jeremy Doku does extremely well. Just look at how Nico O'Reilly has won the ball there. That is just superb. भाई this is what to expect in PSG game. मेरे को CL का सोचकर that too Holera. Bayaji, we messed it up. You are 3-0 up against Feyenoord bloody at the Etihad, and even if you're playing your academy players, you're not gonna lose that game. I mean, they made it 3-3. 80th minute, you're winning 3-0. How the hell was it 3-3? You add those 2 points, and we're at least guaranteed a playoff spot. James McAtee again on the ball. What a ball in! That is from Jeremy Doku. Wow. Jeremy Doku's ball in the box has also improved against Salford. He was good. Right now, his one or two deliveries were very, very good. But the moment that impressed me the most was the way Nico O'Reilly, the way he won the ball. We do not have ball winners in that midfield. Rodri is a ball winner. Kovacic, Nico O'Reilly is a ball winner. That is what I just do not understand. Josko Guardiola, James McAtee, Ruben Diaz. Bhaiya, this is Nico the Warrior. Sad that has not got the chances. When we were playing shit, he could have easily been developed until now. There was no need even to go for Luis Diaz, not Luis Diaz, Douglas Luis. If you would have given Nico O'Reilly those chances. Rico Lewis, Ikai Gundogan, where is our Mecca? Ruben Diaz gets the ball. McAtee wants the ball. McAtee gets the ball. He gives it back to Nico Riley. Ah, Nico Riley just underestimates the run. Gautam says, I feel sorry for Walker. It shouldn't have ended this way. Gautam, I think it's this more to just footballing things actually, because with Walker, I think he definitely had 1 or 2 more years at the top level, But again, I think we underestimate how much important it is to have a clear frame of mind, I mean, not clear, I mean, I would say stress free mind. But Walker is going through so much in terms of his family thing and stuff, wife divorce, this and that. I just think he stress was eating him up. I think when stress eats you up, you cannot focus, and you're always have that thing in your mind, and suddenly you just do not know when you decline physically. I think that is what happened with Kyle Walker. I think it's not just just physically the thing. I think with Walker, the stress and the family thing and stuff played a huge part. Agatham says, after all, he was pivotal in treble season, and also last season he was the captain for four Pete, and also with Walker and completed, and also with Walker when that happens, it is a bit shameful that I think there was a Twitter account. I saw someone's tweet, and they were telling Kyle Walker F off from the club. I don't know if he was really a City fan or was it a fake City account. I don't know. There was a tweet, and they were telling F of Walker, it is because of you we lost so many games. But I think people a lot of times, I think they forget to take things in context. Kyle Walker had so much going on behind him, family tension, the breakup and stuff, the thing going on, settling with his wife again, settlement with his wife. I mean, a lot of things were going on, kids and stuff, and it's just impossible for him to focus just on football. It's not 11 robots playing there. It's 11 humans playing there. And with humans, you're dealing with emotions, you're dealing with stresses, you're dealing with egos. When all of that is clear, that is when football is really you're at its best in terms of football. So I think with Kyle Walker, he's been a major part in us doing the four-peat in the Premier League and the Champions League. That night without him, Vinny could have maybe ripped us apart. He just, I mean, tell me another fullback in the world who is without a shiver, who can go one-on-one against Vinicius Junior, not even expecting help from his winger. It's a special talent. It's a special talent. I mean, Gary Neville in his combined 11, Premier League's all-time greatest 11. He was doing with Roy Keane and all. They have that overlap, so I think they were doing the combined greatest 11, the all-time Premier League 11. And for the right back, Roy Keane suggested Gary Neville, and Gary Neville said Kyle Walker. He said I would never have been able to hold down some of those wingers like Vinicius Junior, Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry. Kyle Walker's been superb. Whatever has happened this season, it does not tarnish, the 7 8 years is just given us superbly. That night in Manchester against Real Madrid, there was a time when Vinicius Junior had a head start on Kyle Walker, and yet Walker recovered, which is no mean feat. Nico Riley driving with the ball. Nico Riley driving with the ball in speed. Just didn't release it at the last moment. But the way he drives with the ball literally reminds me of a mini Yaya Toure. James McAtee, that is wonderful. Nico Riley, Kai Gundogan. I think if Nico Riley came on against Brentford, we win that game. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Look at how he's winning the ball in the midfield. Bayaji says, I was just about to write about that head start thing. Walker has stopped countless number of counters for us. Impossible, impossible counters he has stopped, Bayaji. Impossible counters. I mean, it still gives me shivers, thinking about that night. Real Madrid versus City at the Etihad. It still gives me shivers. I was before the match. I think we were even chatting on the stream, and I was thinking, how are we gonna stop this guy Vinicius Junior Benzema, that combination? And it went to the point where Vinicius Junior, 30 minutes gone, he goes to the bench. There was a breaking play. Vinicius Junior goes to the bench and he asks Ancelotti, "What can I do? What else can I do?" He literally signals this. What else can I do? Absolutely wow. Kyle Walker is such a Kyle Walker is such a selfless servant for the club. He has been. Yes, this season I have been angry on him, but that's how it happens during the games. But once after the game, you sort of get to reflect. But that is for that game. That's it. We've been very clear on that. As a whole, all of our point of view on Kyle Walker is very clear. He is the best right back Premier League has ever seen. James McAtee trying an other header. McAtee probably wants to put a hat trick of headers. Just imagine the scenario, guys. Just imagine the scenario when Oscar Bob returns. You suddenly will have Oscar Bob right wing, James McAtee in the center of midfield, and Nico O'Reilly running through, Rico Lewis being there. That's at least four people from the academy. Put Phil Foden also in there, and it's five people from the academy. That would be superb. What a performance this is. I know it's Ipswich, but we have played far lesser oppositions than this. Southampton, for example. Ipswich are much, much better than even Finewood, whom we drew against in the Champions League. Omari Hutchinson, Liam Delap. They have good players. I mean, the performance has just been superb. And even this guy, just a mention to Divin Mbuma. We have got him from West Ham this season, but his movement is very good. I mean, just observe his off the ball movement. It's just superb. The off the ball movement of Divin Mbuma is just superb. Bayaji says Brentford was bad management in final minutes. There was no one to win the ball in the midfield against Brentford. I think you want when Brentford are breaking through the middle with your Damsgaard, Norgard, all of those people, Lukin, Lewis Potter, all of those people. You want someone to win the ball in the midfield. With Brentford, what the problem was, we were either winning the ball in their box and then carrying it to our box. That's it. I mean, how many times did you see us winning the ball in the midfield outright against Brentford? That's why I think Nico O'Reilly was so key against Brentford. Nico O'Reilly could have won the ball. He's aggressive in the tackle. Wow. And Nico O'Reilly can develop into the ilk of Yaya Toure. Why I'm telling this is Nico O'Reilly in the academy was an attacking midfielder. Pep Guardiola bought him and is converted in box to box midfielder who can play DM as well. So I think Nico Riley has the tenacious tackle, but he can also dribble through. He can shoot. Nico Riley is again a complete package already. If you ask me, Bayaji says Ipswich beat Chelsea 2-0. No pushover. Definitely no pushovers, Bayaji. Definitely no pushovers, to be honest. Definitely. I mean, Ipswich drew 1-1 with Man United. I mean, at this point of time, your championship team will beat Man United, but Ipswich drew 1-1 with Man United. Ipswich almost beat Spurs. Ipswich led against Newcastle 1-0 and stuff at the break. Ipswich caused trouble to Arsenal as well. I think Ipswich are no pushovers, and this is a statement victory. This is a big, big victory. Wow, what a victory before the Paris game. Gotham says a much needed win before the toughest fixture start. It's gonna be a it's gonna be a roller coaster ride, guys. The toughest fixture starts. I think that is also another reason why we have got all our transfers done. I think Marmoush will be available on when is our next fixture? Our next fixture, I think, our next fixture is against PSG, of course, in midweek, and then Chelsea Saturday 11 p.m. and then Arsenal 2nd Feb Sunday 10 p.m. The same time. So I think by the Chelsea game, I think Marmoush will be ready. Might not start. Kushanov medical is done. Kushanov is already announced. Victor Rees, I think he will be announced on Monday. Marmoush will be announced on Monday. I think we'll have more clarity about the fullback and the defensive midfielder by Monday. I think we just have one Premier League game more, I think, before the January window shuts. So the January window has been very interesting because we played at home against West Ham on 4th Jan. That is when the January window opened. It opened on 2nd Jan. And then the next game was Brentford. And then the next game is Chelsea. I mean, Ipswich Town, Chelsea. So we literally had 4 games in this entire January transfer window. So think it is not bad. It's not bad, to be honest. But what a run of fixtures they are. What a bloody run of fixtures they are, to be honest. Just look at this fixture list, guys. Just look at this bloody fixture list. PSG, Chelsea, Club Bruges. That will be a pressure game, tough pressure game. And it's away in Paris as well with PSG. Arsenal, Leighton Orient is that too is away. You never know what could happen. Newcastle, Liverpool, Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, Brighton. I think starting 2nd February, starting 23rd January, it's almost 2 months of relentless football, relentless tough fixtures to be honest. Wow. Bayaji says Chelsea game vital for top four. Let's look at the points table, Bayaji, actually. Well, maybe just zoom out a bit. Yes. Yes, I think this is perfect. Yes, this is perfect. I think if we look at the points table, I think Chelsea are what they have played a game. Is it? I mean, are Chelsea due? When are Chelsea playing? To be honest, when are bloody Chelsea playing? When are Chelsea playing? When is Chelsea's next game? It's against Wolves. I think they are playing today, right? If I'm not wrong. 21st Jan. No, they're playing tomorrow, right? Right. Let us imagine. Yes, you're right. Chelsea win that and they go above us. So you have to hope that Chelsea drop points against Wolves. That's right. But I think a top four. But I think a top four finish won't be a success this season. I think I want us to finish in second place since the title right now looks gone. I want us to finish in second place because for me it is either City should win the league or if anyone else wins the league, then they should be the only team better than City. I do not want 3, 4 teams being better than City. I think with Chelsea again with Chelsea, I'm not as afraid that we will surrender the top four spot to them because they lose silly games like they lose against they lost against Ipswich and all of that stuff. Bias says tomorrow night versus Wolves. Yes, yes, I checked, and that will not be an easy game as well. And also I think it's Chelsea at home. I think we beat them at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea at the Etihad. That will be one cracker of a game. Chelsea at the Etihad. And then Arsenal away. I mean, this game is very interesting. Arsenal away, we could. I mean, Arsenal away, we could effectively end Arsenal's title hopes. We could effectively end Arsenal's title hopes. Title hopes could be gone for Arsenal. Bayern is winless in 5 games. Must beat the living daylights out of Chelsea and build the base for February. Just smash Chelsea, absolutely smash Chelsea. I mean, if Ipswich can beat Chelsea 2-0, we beat Ipswich 6-0. That means the mathematics says that we should be beating Chelsea 8-0. Just imagine, Bayaji, we beat Chelsea 8-0. There will be carnage. There will be absolute carnage. Exactly. Leighton Orient versus City. What the hell is that time? 5:45 p.m. Just cannot know. I mean, that is just insane. First of all, these times are insane, Bayaji. 1:30 a.m. This means literally for next day's work and stuff, you just do not have any sleep. Literally, your entire sleep cycle is gone. 1:30 a.m. And then what is this 5:45 p.m.? It's neither here nor there. That too on a Saturday afternoon, 5:45 p.m. These timings as well. I absolutely hate the 8:30 p.m. games, to be honest. 8:30 p.m. games have not gone well for us at all. But the PSG game, it will be a heart-wrenching one. In almost it will be in the midst of winter in Paris. Feb is almost 23rd Jan. It's almost peak. It's almost that peak winter time in France, and it will just be something else. And the right back will be interesting, Bayaji. The right back will be very interesting because PSG have speedy Bradley Bracola. The top speed of Bradley Bracola is around 34, 35. Bradley Bracola is the second fastest player in Liga in League One. Who is the first fastest player in League One? Bayaji, guess who is the fastest player in League One? Bradley Bracola is the second fastest player in League One. Of course, Mbappe is not there right now. So right now, Bradley Bracola is the second fastest player in League One. Who this season is the first fastest player in League One? Who is the fastest player in League One? Any guess? Random guess. I'll give you a clue. We have him. We have him. We got him. Kushano. Kushano, exactly right. Kushano from Lens. Kushano may have played at some point against Coca-Cola. Bradley Bracola, Coca-Cola. Low Pio Coca-Cola. Bradley Bracola, Low Pio Coca-Cola. Well put by Aji. So Kushano is faster than Bradley Bracola. Yes, exactly, Bayaji, exactly. Kushano is the fastest player in Liga this season. He is faster than Bradley Bracola. Bradley Bracola has clocked around 35, 34, 35 chims. Kushano has reached top speeds of 37 in a 100-meter sprint. But the only thing is we cannot play him since you can only refresh your squads after the group stage for the playoffs. I mean, I worry Matthews Nunez against Bradley Bracola. That is a big, big worry. Matthews Nunez against Bradley Bracola. Otherwise, could it be Manuel Akanji? But Ake is injured. I think Rico Lewis against Bradley Bracola. Bye bye. I just think that is the only realistic option we have. Or maybe Bayaji one last time. एक बार Kyle Walker आता है और हमें और हमारा राइट विंग पूरा उनका राइट विंग पूरा होल्ड कर देता है. One time, probably Kyle Walker won last time. I know the chances are very slim, but Matthews Nunes against Bradley Bracola. If Bracola plays on the left wing, which he generally does, Osman Dembele on the right wing. I mean, the fullback situation is going to be very interesting. Matthews Nunes, उसके तो टांग कांप रहे होंगे. Bayeji says no, Nunez doesn't have brain for such games against top wingers. Bayeji says Walker can contain if he's super focused. But Bayeji, what are the options Bayeji? Options भी तो क्या है अब? Options भी तो क्या है हमारे पास? See, one option could have been Manuel Akanji right back and Ake or Stones center back. पर injured है ना दोनों. Stones is injured. Ake is injured. Stones not fully recovered. So Akanji has to play center back along with Ruben Diaz. So right back Walker's not there. Rico Lewis or Matthews Nunez, I'll probably choose Matthews Nunez over Rico Lewis. Options भी तो क्या है? I think Nunez just seems to be the only option available. Bayaji says Akanji, but then who will play centre back Bayaji? Centre back कौन खेलेगा फिर? क्योंकि Stones और आके दोनों injured है. Centre back is the problem. Centre back will be the problem again. Who will play at centre back? Um, I mean, our defense due to injuries has been just decimated so much. Center back is, I'm thinking, but I just do not see any other option other than Matthews Nunes doing a job for us. Let's see the Champions League table for once. Uh, let's once see the Champions League table for us. This City and standings. ये हमेशा ऐड क्यों आ जाते हैं? Just don't know. Yeah, yeah. Champions League standings. Liverpool 6 out of 6. Wow. Barcelona. Getafe से हारती है and Champions League there. This look at it. Arsenal, Bayer Leverkusen. But anyway, City कहाँ है? 22. The cutoff spot is. I think the cutoff spot is around 24. Yes, the cutoff spot is around 24. City are 22nd. So if I mean, a lot of permutations and combinations are there. I mean, if we beat PSG, I think PSG are knocked out of the Champions League. As good as that. If it's a draw भी अच्छा है क्योंकि I think our goal difference is decent. Our goal difference is decent. It's not the worst. There are people having -1 and -2 there. Finewood का goal difference -1 है. And the problem is हमने 3 गोल दिए Finewood को. I mean, ये देखो भैया जी, फाइनवुड का गोल डिफरेंस है -1 और हमने 3 गोल दिए. स्पोर्टिंग का गोल डिफरेंस है 2 और हमने 4 गोल खाए उनके साथ. I don't think that will be the scenario. I don't think that will be the scenario in the playoffs, Bayaji. I think they will not let big clubs play each other before the round of 16. I think they just can't do that. Because just imagine if you get Bayern Real Madrid, which is quite possible because top 8 ही automatic qualify करते हैं till nil. सो फॉर एग्जांपल बायर्न, रियल मैड्रिड, एथलेटिको सिटी, तो चार सुपरस्टार टीम में से दो तो नॉकआउट हो गए आपके, कंपटीशन बड़ा बोरिंग हो जाएगा, right? The TV rights and all the money, TV rights bringing and also. So I think in the playoffs they just do not play. They just do not do that sort of a thing. I think big teams will not be paired against each other. Let us. I mean, who does Dynamo Zagreb play? That will be interesting. I mean, who does Dynamo Zagreb play? Let's actually see. Dynamo Zagreb plays Arsenal, which is interesting, which is very interesting. And who does PSG play in their last two games? PSG plays City, and then after that, Leipzig. No, this is the club friendly. PSG plays City and Stuttgart. That is very interesting. It is interesting because PSG plays Stuttgart, and then you look at VFB Stuttgart. अभी स्टटगार्ड को देखो पीएसजी का दोनों गेम्स है सिटी एंड स्टटगार्ड सो effectively it's a 6 pointer by if we beat PSG we are through. I mean, we lose against PSG and Stuttgart beats PSG. That I mean, lot of scenarios could happen here. Bloody lot of scenarios, and there are bloody lot of good clubs as well. City है, PSG is there, Real Madrid is there. Real Madrid ने भी कुछ खास उखाड़ा नहीं है. Almost similar points. Juventus is there. Wow, this is not gonna be easy. Lots of permutations and combinations. कुछ भी हो सकता है, literally. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining me. Thank you, Gautam, and thank you, Bayaji as well. Thank you, JSK, for joining me. I'll see you all guys again in the match against PSG. That is gonna be a bumper Champions League night, like we are used to. Wow, what a Champions League night it could be. 3 दिन के time में. Anyway, just enjoy the night. After a long time, I'll switch on the highlights and watch. ब्रेंटफोर्ड के साथ I thought, but देख नहीं पाया highlights. 2-2 ड्रॉ में highlights क्या देखेंगे?